You guys know that I love reviewing sort of strange tech products. Normal phones, normal tablets, kind of boring for me. I want something a bit more unique. But as it turns out, a lot of the time, unique does not always mean good. Just because your tech product is strange, that doesn't mean it's actually a good product. That being said, here not that long ago, I reviewed this tablet from 8849. This is the ThinkPad E, and it has some very interesting specs. A 21,000 milliamp hour battery is absolutely gargantuan. A camping flashlight that is extremely bright. This is not the LED flash on the back of your phone, guys. This is crazy. But the thing that actually really stands out for me is this 100 lumen DLP projector. The idea here, and it actually works shockingly well, is that at any point you can simply turn on projector mode on this tablet. It takes just a moment for it to switch over to this mode, and then anything that is on this tablet screen will then be projected out this projector, and then you can set it up and point it at a screen, point it at a wall, whatever you need to do, and then anything on your screen is going to be projected out onto whatever surface you are using. And as you can see in that video, that is not like a pitch dark room, and I'm getting about a 50-inch screen. It's nothing that's absolutely incredible, but it just works surprisingly well. So today, we're looking at another product from 8849 that I think is really, really fascinating. They basically said, what if we took that projector out of the tablet and made it into its own standalone product? This is the Mars Mini Projector, and it appears to be, based on the specs, 720p, 100 lumens, exactly that. A teeny tiny little projector that you can plug your phone or any other device that has USB-C into, and then in theory have the exact same experience. But rather than paying for that tablet, you're going to spend right now about $180 for this projector alone. I cannot wait to dig into this one. It was actually just delivered, so we're going to unbox it and get started. So let's slide this thing out. Oh, it looks like it's actually two different boxes in there. We have the 8849 Mars, which, if you guys don't know, 8849 and Unihertz, I think, have either a parent company, or maybe 8849 is like a sort of like a little sub-brand for Unihertz. So that is who that is. And thanks and shout out to 8849 for sending this thing over as quickly as they did. They were very, very quick to respond to my email, and that is very cool. This thing is absolutely tiny. The pictures do not do it justice at all. Here is my Oppo Find N5. It is very, very, very small. And I mean, it has the advantage of not having to really do anything but just display your phone's screen. Like, I've got another little mini projector, and it's so much bigger than this because it's trying to do so much more. I love the logic of, you already have a phone in your pocket, just use that. And what's crazy is, I believe your phone will actually power this thing as well. So that is the projector itself. It is unbelievably small, and I'll say the build quality is really quite nice. We have like a soft touch grippy kind of rubberized thing on the bottom, a couple of USB-C ports, and I think that one of these is to plug your phone in, and the other one is to plug in like a power bank in case you want to basically charge or power it with that power bank. And then we have a vent on the side, a vent on the top. This is going to be to keep the thing cool. And then the actual projector lens thing up front. All right, several things in here. We have a little magnetic kickstand ring thing, which is going to be really, really important for a product like this, so that you can set the thing down and get it at the angle that you want it. That is really, really cool. Simple, and it's going to work super duper well. I love that. Boom, there you go. There's your projector. How cool is that? And then here we have a braided USB-C to C cable, and I think that there was an adapter in here to go to a lightning port if you're using an iPhone. And then this looks like a stick-on magnetic ring. I'm not sure why you would need that, but it's there. Okay, then in the other box, we have a USB-A to C charging brick, and then another cable, which is A to C. So if you want to be running this thing off of AC, you can do that as well. All right, so I've got this thing set up now, just plugged in directly into the projector, nothing else, and this is what we're getting. Now, this is the exact same lighting as what you saw before, but as you can see, this is much, much dimmer. And the reason for this is because currently the projector is running off of my phone alone. So what we're going to do is we're going to plug it into a battery bank to give it some external power, and it should increase that brightness. So the brightness has definitely jumped up now pretty significantly, and the fan on the projector itself is also now quite a bit louder. So not only should you be able to hear that fan, we should also be able to see is that my phone is actually being charged as well. It is doing pass-through. So not only is the battery bank now powering the projector, it's also charging my phone. I just wanted to really quickly give you guys a sense of the scale of what we actually have here before we move things in and try to get a better picture quality. This is, again, a fairly well-lit room, and this is a pretty big screen that it's trying to create here. Not sure why it went away for a second, but we're back. All right, so I've done a few things to make this a little bit better. One, I plugged it into my laptop, and two, I've turned off most of the lights. I said I was going to move it closer, but I ended up not doing that because my old dog laid down right in the way, and I didn't want to make him move, so I just turned off the lights instead. And I think that you can see here, this really does not look too bad at all. Let me actually back up and give you a sense of scale. So just like I did a moment ago, but now with the lights turned out, look how much better this actually does look. Now don't get me wrong, this is clearly a 720p-ish picture because the text and things like that don't look super sharp. But you can absolutely watch a movie like this. In fact, even when I backed this thing up to be an even larger screen, I moved it back about 2 feet, it still looks pretty good. Let's see if we can get a diagonal measurement of what this screen would be. By my measurement, we are looking at about a 65-inch screen, and this is more than bright enough. One other thing that I do quickly want to mention is that this thing does actually have automatic keystone correction. So if I were to sort of move it around, you'll see itself trying to correct itself and make sure that the aspect ratio stays correct and to make sure that it is focused correctly. The tablet actually had a little dial to focus. This does not have that. It does it on its own. Just out of curiosity, I wanted to see how hot this thing actually gets while running. You can see right there something that's about 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Let's flip it over. Pretty much the whole bottom side is around 112, which is hot, but it's definitely nowhere hot enough to like burn you or do anything serious like that. And then of course something else to keep in mind with a package this small, they did not fit in any sort of speakers. So whatever sound you're going to be getting is going to be coming from the device that it is that is plugged into it. So whether that's your phone or your laptop, whatever that might be, that's going to be providing sound. I would recommend if you've got a Bluetooth speaker, that's probably great. If you have like, you know, a modern smartphone, a lot of them have really good speakers these days. So that's probably going to be okay in a pinch as well. So just like the Tank Pad E, I think that one of the most obvious use cases for a projector that is this small, this easy to toss into a bag or even a pocket, is to have it when you're out and about, maybe you're camping or something like that. So I waited yesterday until the sun went down and I took this projector outside with my phone and a battery bank. And first I tried just projecting it against my fence with like a little white sheet thing that my wife randomly found. We tried using that, but the image quality was a little bit fuzzy because of the surface I was projecting onto. So I went and I grabbed my own portable 100-inch projector screen and I set that up outside. And let me just tell you guys, I was pretty darn impressed. Again, you can tell that this is a 720p projection, but considering just how tiny small this thing is, it works surprisingly well. Let me give you my only real caveat about this device though. Earlier in this review, I talked about how some other smaller projectors ended up being much larger because they're trying to do more things, whereas this just relies on your phone. I said, why would you need anything else when you've always got your phone? Well, what if you want to use your phone while you are watching that movie or whatever it might be? At that point, you have a little bit of a problem. So you might end up using another device, like maybe a tablet or something like that. But then you probably also do need to have that battery bank with you so that you're going to get the maximum brightness, and maybe your tablet speakers aren't that great, so maybe you have a Bluetooth speaker. At that point, for me, it almost makes more sense to just use something like the ThinkPad E, which has the full battery. It's a massive battery, so it doesn't need anything external. It is a secondary device, so it's not going to interrupt your phone use. And yeah, the speakers aren't great on it, so maybe you would still need a Bluetooth speaker, but you get what I'm saying. That, I think, is my only real caveat is, yes, it's small, but you might need a secondary device to actually use it, something to actually supply the video. And then you're probably going to need that battery bank and probably going to need a Bluetooth speaker to really get the full experience. So this is small, but it does require several other things to really get the most out of it. I do want to quickly also mention this little button on the bottom of the device. It was kind of curious to me. I kept trying to press it and I wasn't really sure what it was like meant to be doing. So I grabbed the instructions. In case you are wondering, here's what it says. Usage of the projector's bottom function button. Short press the button to switch between Type-C 3.0 mirroring and USB 2.0 mirroring. Short press once to switch. Long press the button to enter manual focus. Long press again to switch focus direction for manual focusing. In my experience, haven't needed to press that button, but I know someone's going to ask what it does. There's your answer. So there you go, guys. Those are my thoughts on the 8849 Mars Mini Projector. Right now, $179. If you've got something that can display out over USB-C, you can plug it into this and you can watch that content as long as it's not super bright in the room that you are in. I do want to say a quick thanks to 8849 for, as I said earlier, sending this projector over to me for me to review in this video. As always, no money has changed hands for the production of this review, and they are seeing this video at the exact same time as you are. I'm going to drop a link in the description down below to purchase this product. It might be an affiliate link. I'll say it down there in the description. If it is, what that means is, if you click the link and you make a purchase, I will earn commission off of that, and it's a great way to help support the channel. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more content like this, and until next time, stay nerdy, my friends.